My biggest lesson, I think, is that it is not only a student issue. Academic integrity involves everybody, and we need to start taking responsibility for that as educators, as anyone working in higher education. Do we really believe in the transformative potential of higher education, or is this just some game we play? Is this just some business? So for me, you know, I've been saying for some time, I think we created a perfect storm where the university has become just like another business, where our students have become customers, where I've even heard people refer to our courses as products. Now that hurts me, because I'm not a business person, I'm an educator. So staff need to start to be part of a process where we reimagine what higher education is all about. It's not a business. We're not business people, we're not entrepreneurs trying to make money for someone. We are educators, and we are here because we believe that education will change our students' lives. So we've all got to get back to that. We've all got to get back to understanding what education is really about. And I hope this course goes some way to reminding us why we're here. It's like saying to a child when we're in a candy store, whatever you do, don't eat the candy. Yeah? So we have to do everything to prevent them stealing the candy. So what do? We'd have to take all the candy off the shelves. So all the shops have to have nothing in the store, because to prevent a dishonest act, to prevent a breach, you've got to take all of those opportunities away. And so we often hear about that, designing out plagiarism, removing opportunities for students to cheat. And yes, there's an element of that for sure. We don't want to create opportunities for students to cheat, but we need to move beyond this idea of prevention and more about changing our intrinsic motivation. So just as we do with our children, if you're taking them to a candy store, you explain, there are some things you can do here and there's some things you can't. Honest behaviour is about acting in a certain way, and you should want to be honest. Every kid knows how guilty you feel, we all did it, where we maybe did something like take the extra piece of cake or take the candy or do something which was against our values, and something happens. A 3-year-old knows that, but something happens by the time we're adults. We forget about that. So I think preventing something is different than working it to the heart of something and wanting our staff and our students and our teachers and everyone who's a stakeholder in education to have a different type of motivation towards doing work honestly and doing it appropriately. I'm hoping we see radical change, nothing less than radical change. It matters to me. I think it should matter to everybody. Now, of course, everyone says my research topic is the most important. Mine really is. I really, really believe it, because what's the point of researching, I don't know, Parkinson's disease if you don't have integrity in your research? Now, recently we had a huge scandal in Australia where there were researchers who completely fabricated their data and took $1.2 million of taxpayers' money because that's what they thought the game was. The game is you get the funding, you write the papers, it doesn't matter if the data is true or not. It doesn't matter if we demonstrate any integrity in our work. So I'm hoping for radical change. So it's not just about undergraduates, it's about what it means for researchers down the track. Radical change where we all reconnect with our most fundamental values, the ones that we hold most dear in terms of education. You know, it's always a little bit different in every context. Your own university has its own way of doing things. You've got your particular regulations, the way you express them. You've got a particular culture depending on the type of university you are. So I think it's critical for those who really want to have some input into how it's going to operate in their own context to come along and get involved. I know I'm going to learn a lot from collaborating with more people who I haven't met before, and hopefully just being part of that collaboration will develop people's thinking about the topic as well. And they'll go back into their institutions and be change agents themselves. So again, it has the potential to make a real difference in people's individual settings. It shouldn't just be some generic module that's created over there somewhere for some fairyland perfect institution of higher learning. It's got to be something that matters to you. It's got to be something that means and will make a difference in your context. So join the team. Come and help us make this the best module we can do.